Welcome back to my channel. I'm Amanda and today I'm doing my May I Scraplift You for bookish Shayla and using my Counterfeit Kit challenge. And Shayla is joining the Counterfeit Kit team next month, so that'll be exciting. She plays along quite a bit anyway, so it'll be fun. So I am getting started right away. So these are 2 pieces of 6x6 paper from the Minte Country Fair, and I cut the wagon wheel 1 1/2, and then I'm taking a strip of the wood grain and I'm going to try and make it look like a triangle. And then I cut this piece off, knowing that it's supposed to be on the bottom, and then I totally get myself confused on where that's supposed to go, and then I just turn it around, but I was like, that's not right. What was I doing? Of all things, it's all good. So I'm like, yeah, no, it looks like this and like this. And so in her layout, you can see up in the left corner, she does have some texture paste and a little bit of pattern paper in a triangle and a couple smaller pieces that look like they could be triangles, and then a bunch of embellishment. So I'm going to do something similar, and there's my photo because I figured I kind of needed to know where my paste was going to go. And then I'm looking at using some of this to map my photo. So I'm going to get these kind of situated so that I can kind of pencil out where my paste needs to go. And yeah, so I tried to do this layout. Well, I wanted to try this layout because Shayla has quite a bit of white space on her layouts, and sometimes I'm okay with that and sometimes I struggle. And the ones that I struggle with are these more central layouts, and hers is a little bit bigger than just plain central, which is awesome because it's not as much of a stretch. But this is where my problem ends up being, is when I start to do the texture paste and then I go right off the page, like I always do. So not quite as central as I wanted, not quite as open space I wanted, but I'm mixing up the Stamperia. It's like a marshmallow texture. It is, oh, it's so creamy. And so I used it first with the peacock feather, and then I added a little bit of prize ribbon to just make it a little bit darker because it was looking very white even though it wasn't. And then I put it on here and it actually has a pretty white, look how white that looks. It's not white, but it looks white. Oh well. I had thought about trying to go darker like she had on hers, but yeah, it did not work out that way. So her texture paste is also a heart. I could have pulled out one of my Hip Kit Club ones that has a smaller heart, but this was on top, so I pulled this one out, and see how I go right off the page? That's not what I wanted to do. Oh well. Oh well, oh well. So I'm gonna call that good. I'm gonna grab one of my art journals, and I am gonna have to start playing in my art journals because I have a few pages that I've got texture paste on or ink or something that I just need to do some stuff. See, look at how blue that is in the art journal. It's just because of how blue the other stuff is. So, and then I cleaned up off screen, and I'm just gonna tidy this up a little bit before I think I hit it with the heat gun after, just because it's still pretty wet. So yes, heat gun. So I'm going to use my magnets to make sure it doesn't warp, and it was a little bit longer than that, but I didn't make you watch that. And then I'm going to get this down, and it is actually going to go a little tiny bit more to the left and a little bit tiny bit higher, and then I just erase the bottom line because that works. And then this piece of paper had a little farm on it, and I wanted to see those colors, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of a border around it, and there's a chicken on the left side there, but by the time you get it embellished you can't even tell there was a chicken there. So that's awesome. I am going to bring out the wood veneer from this. This was in the Nature something from Minte. It was like this whole kit that came with Country Fair and some Botany and some other ones. So this was exclusive to that kit. So I'm going to use some of that on here. I am not a fan of taking these out though. So I took my craft knife out to try and get some of the pieces not to break. I still have them breaking. I don't know. It is what it is. I also pulled out the Country Fair chipboard piece. I thought about that one for a second and cutting it off, but I'm going to use one of these circles. I have them both out right now, but one of them, you can see on Shayla, she's got a couple of circles on that side, and I have a one word bit that I can use. The rest of them all have to do with gardening, and I don't have very much gardening stuff to scrapbook about. So yeah, we'll figure it out. So I'm gonna get this glued. I had to like take it apart and unstick my glue, so I obviously took that out too. You didn't have to watch me do that. With all of the outs and abouts and go do this, it still only took me about 50 minutes to do this layout, so not crazy. That's including like the cleanup. So, and then I'm not going to use that one on the bottom that I just put down, but I'm going to put these leaves kind of nestled here, and I like that. My embellishment is not going to be as colorful as Shayla's is. It ends up being more of almost a monochromatic layout, just based on like the blue, but a little bit of pink and the wood veneer, but it ends up being very, I don't know, subtle, pastel-y. Not as bold as I usually, well, not as bold as this last week has been, I can say, because there was a lot of bold stuff this week. So this is how I was trying to take these out after figuring out that it wasn't going to work with me just poking them out, and I still break one of the leaves when I do it that way, so I don't know how to do these so they don't wreck, but it is what it is. I figured I'd mimic that top corner where the magnet is with this, so there's another leafy bit, and I think that works pretty good. And I'm like, the family needs to go down, and this is where she has grateful. I thought family worked well enough. We are at a really good friend of ours' wedding way back. This little one is pretty little. She's not that little anymore. Neither one of them are that little anymore. But that's okay. So I just snapped a candid of them in front of the lake, and that's pretty cute. And then Sheila has a couple ripped pieces in hers, so I am going to do that as well. And I'm going to do some splatters. So I'm going to do splatters first. This is also peacock feather. I probably should have used this in my paste, and then maybe that would have been a bit darker. I don't know. Something to try for next time. And then ripping, I'm going to use the wood grain in here. I thought that would be a great one, and I have a little bit of it left from, it's on the, I used the back side of it for mounting my photo, and then those two fake triangles that aren't triangles, so that works well. And then I'm going to do a little piece up here like she does, and there it goes. And then the last thing I'm going to do is use the Novo drops to add some dots. So I'm going to use these like the enamel dots that Shayla has on hers, but mine are Nuvo, which is totally fine. And that would have been a better color too for my hearts, but it's done and it's okay. So thank you so much for being here today. Here will be some close-ups. If you liked my video, I would appreciate the thumbs up. in the description box below, you will find the May I Scraplift You playlist, Shayla's link for her YouTube channel, and for the video or the layout that I scrap lifted, and any other links that I have. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate the time that you took to spend with me today. If you're new here, subscribe, comment, like. Thank you so much. Have a great day.